Hello Indiana Jones Minute fans, I'm here to do a video review of this fantastic book by J.W. Rinzler. This book has been around for a while, so you probably already own it. There's probably other reviews, there's certainly reviews on Amazon, but I posted a picture a few weeks ago when I bought it, and some people asked if I would do a review, so Jamie, this review is for you. This book is fantastic. It has a $45 cover price. I got it on Amazon for $30. And it is well worth the price if you're an Indiana Jones fan, or if you're just a fan of movies and how they make movies, or maybe George Lucas or Steven Spielberg. Just a great book on film history. It's hard to tell, this book is actually pretty big. Not only is it large here, but it's thick and it's heavy. This is really thick quality paper, so this is a heavy book. One of my only complaints about it is the fact that it's so heavy. Actually, it was damaged in shipping. When it came, it had some wrinkles in the corner, and it's also hard when you're holding it to not let it, crease the spine and damage it that way, just because of its weight. Just to sort of compare the size, here's a couple of points of reference. So here, for example, is the Laserdisc of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you can see it's a little bit smaller than a Laserdisc. And if you don't know what a Laserdisc is, here is the LP for the soundtrack to Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you can see just a little bit smaller than what an LP looks like. And just to conversely compare that, here's the CD of the soundtrack, and that kind of gives you the size comparison. So this book, one of my favorite things about it is it covers the making of all 4 of the Indiana Jones films. Yeah, there are 4, I know. And but one of the things I love about it is it's chronological. So when you start at the very beginning, it actually talks about, of course, the history of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Not only them coming together on the beaches of Hawaii with the idea of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but actually them in film school and kind of the backstory of how they met and then how their career took off. Really a great history, and of course a little bit of Star Wars in there and the influences that went into making Raiders of the Lost Ark. But from there out, it's all chronological. It talks about the casting, the process of casting the stars, and the special effects, and all the storyboards, and the costumes, and everything that goes into making a movie. But unlike so many documentaries that you see maybe in the DVDs or the Blu-rays, instead of following the order of the movie, it's all chronological. So it goes from the very first shot to the very last shot. The very first shot being some of the submarine scenes that they filmed in France, and some of the last shots being what they filmed in Hawaii, which are actually the opening scenes of the movie. So really a cool way to do it, because you really get a feel of how they figured out as they went along, and by the time they got to that opening scene in the jungles of Hawaii, they just knew exactly what they were doing and who the characters were, and it was really a cool way to read about the making of. I've had this for about a month. I've been trying to read it as a book from cover to cover instead of just flipping through it and looking ahead too much. And it's taken me quite a while. I'm only about half of the way through the making of Temple of Doom. But it's a great book to just sit and read and enjoy, and take a Saturday morning and sip a cup of coffee and peruse over it. And it's just full of fantastic pictures and images and some stuff I've never seen before. And even after digging all around the internet and all the behind the scenes documentaries and all the DVDs, this is still full of some great stuff. And I'll just say this, there's a lot of flack given to the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If it wasn't for Crystal Skull, we wouldn't have a lot of material like this that came out right about the time Crystal Skull was being released. And for that alone, that movie was worth it. Also, just as a little bonus, there's another book available on Amazon.com. This one actually came out back in 1994. What's kind of cool about that is this is before the Star Wars special editions. So if you're a fan of Star Wars and Indiana Jones, this is a great book. This is from Star Wars to Indiana Jones. And this is kind of more of a Lucasfilm archive scrapbook. And what I love about this one in conjunction with the complete making of, this one has a lot of pictures, but they're not nearly as big. This one has a really nice pictures, a lot like this, where it's this really big picture that you can really study and pore over. This one doesn't have as much written, but it's a great visual companion to the complete making of. So 2 great books. You can get them for about $30, $35 all told. Anyway, if you like Indiana Jones, if you love movie history, you will love this book. So pick it up. Fully recommend it. And Jones.